Yeah, baby. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was unbearable and happened for like 20 seconds, so I'm saving you from it. Okay, listen. So everybody is fucking traddling around, twaddling their brain stems, looking for the answer to the question that's on all of our minds, and that is, who is Messmer or Messmer? Messmer. And I've seen a handful of theories with plenty of evidence. Oh, I love evidence. Oh, please inject more books into my frenulum, teacher man. Oh, I have a degree in fucking culture. Oh, okay. You ever considered maybe what if but cool? What if idea but cool? Okay. A possibility. I saw this video, right? I saw a clip of a video in another video of one of the big talky souls man talking to another big talky souls man, saying that we need like schizophrenic crackheads to put forth theories. And so what I've done is I've come up with 9 just out of fucking nowhere, frantically scrolling. Now it's I'm recording it because I have like a couple weeks until the DLC's out and my family will never see me again. I have compiled 9 possible scenarios of who Messmer could be. Okay, now hear me out. Elden Ring is a videoed game, but it's also Berserk, but it's also Game of Thrones, and that makes no sense. And neither does Elden Ring, and that's what you need to remember. And what I like to do is not know what it means, you know? I think that trying to decide definitively what something means kills it, okay? Because art isn't math. It doesn't have a story. It has a history, right? You have to do fucking archaeology and then guess what it may have meant. We all believe that the fucking Brontosaurus existed, but it may have just been some fuckhead playing Jenga with random dinosaurs' bones, okay? So in summation, Dark Souls is a skeleton of a dinosaur that y'all agree is put together however the Britishest paleontologist puts it. That's not a shot specifically at Vati, because I like Vati, but it also is, and I'll see you in the parking lot, because I traced Sekiro's arm and put a life gem on it for one of your contests and didn't win. And like this is okay. Following evidence led us all to believe that Solaire was the Nameless King. Following evidence tells us that Melina is not the Gloam-Eyed Queen, even though then we got an ending of the game where Melina looks into the camera and says, "I will be the Gloam-Eyed Queen that I am," and people still will actually get angry at you if you try to show them the real canon cutscene where that's confirmed. I'm still not convinced, even though she looked into the camera and said it to me and showed her gloam eye. It's a goofy time, okay? My point is, y'all have been wrong before, so I'm not gonna try to be right. I'm just gonna try to do what would be pretty cool, and what I think, based on, might happen. Okay, so scenario 1, put it up on screen. Scenario 1 is that Messmer is kind of a plan Z, right? From A to Y. And then Karen's like, you forgot about Messmer, and pulls him out from the Shadowed Lands. Because Marika knew that a Tarnished one day would defeat her, and kind of planned like basically a nuke synced up to her life signature. Everything banned, everything heretical, just fucking because basically everything that she feared she deemed heretical, and he's trained in all that shit as like a curse on the one to dethrone her, you know? You seen JoJo, a notorious BIG, the stand that doesn't activate until the user's death? That's Messmer. Okay, scenario 7, hear me out. So Rykard, right? Rykard got eaten by a big snake. And the snake is pretty prevalent in the history of the Land of Shadow. And he was so close to what he needed to do because a native of the Land of Shadow knows that you're supposed to eat the snake. And that's what Messmer did. And he is basically where Rykard failed as a Lord of Blasphemy. Messmer will succeed, essentially. He's like he's the Anakin to come out of... No. That would make Rykard the Anakin. And then, like, Messmer is like the Luke of the, you know, Jedi Volcano Manor. You see what I'm saying here? Okay, scenario number 3. You know, Marika drinks the gender fluid and becomes Radagon. Miquella drinks the gender fluid and becomes Saint Trina. You know, maybe Melania or maybe Melina could drink the gender fluid and become Messmer. You know, maybe it's an other half to an existing Imperium. That's a little one. That's a little one. The next one scenario. So this kind of posits that the Land of Shadow was Marika's homeland, right? That's been said by our big lovely boy who invented all this goodness. So it being her homeland, I'm assuming before she had this kind of call to divinity, she had a prior life that she needed to leave behind and a whole other culture that she kind of had to betray and seal off. And now they're probably not particularly fond of her. And someone who would be very not fond of her would possibly be a demigod child, a redheaded stepchild that was denied this lineage that the other of her children got. So I'm posing that possibly Messmer is a child left behind in the divorce of her original life in her homeland, who is now hungry for this divinity that he hasn't been able to taste, and he's gonna try to usurp and take over. Scenario number 4, not 4. This would be scenario number 5. Kind of is that it's another little one. It's just that Messmer is like the Hades of this pantheon. You know, like we don't talk about him, and he only comes up to maybe like a Loki. He only comes up to mischief around. He's just another god. You know, they like, FromSoft likes their banished gods. This poses that Messmer is just coming back from timeout after the plot of the game happens. Okay, we're getting to the top 3. These ones are like, I think this could happen. This is like, I actually am pretty sure one of these is true. Scenario 6. Messmer is the intended outcome of Miquella. Like, reborn outside of time as this eternal, incorruptible force of purity, and he wields all the blasphemous arts without any like fear of being harmed by them. You know, he can just juggle the forces of these outer gods the way that we'd like switch our arrow types, and he's completely unchanging and perfect, and he's here to purge all the outer god influence from the lands between, using like their own powers against them to like reclaim the land for his subjects, so they can just like live freely. It's like the Age of Man from Dark Souls 3. Scenario 7 is that Messmer is a guy. He's willing to corrupt and malform his own fucking mind, body, and soul if it means he can dethrone Marika. And that's evidenced by the kind of almost conflicting powers that he'll pull out. He's got the dragons, he's got the fucking chaos flame, he's got the snakes, he's got Volcano Manor, he's got all this shit that should have nothing to do with each other. He's collecting a heretical arsenal to essentially hunt Marika. And this is scenario number 8, which I personally believe fully. Messmer is the physical body of Miquella, not the Miquella that ascended out of it to become kind of like incorporeal. Miquella succeeded, kind of transcended the childlike nascent state, and left behind this husk inside the Halig tree, which Mog took. And this husk, this empty body, has been just pumped full of this cursed, vile blood for like a century. And I think it would be weird if that didn't do anything to the body. So my theory is that mutated Miquella's corpse, turning it into kind of a puppet for the formless mother, into a vessel. And that vessel is Messmer. And that's why it keeps calling Marika mother and shit like that, because it's taunting, similar to what Aldrich did with the corpse of Gwendolyn, right? It's kind of puppeting around the corpse of Miquella, who's like beloved by everyone, and being like, hey, look at me, haha, I'm this guy that you all like. Isn't that fucked up how I'm using it to like blaspheme? And like, it's like, it's the JRPG equivalent of Piss Christ. That's what I really, really do believe is the case. I think that the Mog's plan to bring back Miquella half worked, and he brought back, it's a monkey's paw wish of bringing back a loved one. That's what Messmer is. It's like Reanimator. They don't come back quite right. Yes, scenario number 9 is that Messmer is Messmer. A completely new character, only makes sense in the context of the DLC, entirely self-contained with only minor connections to the main game, little Easter eggs. Like talking about Filianor, and we were like, who the fuck is Filianor? And then we play the DLC and it's like, oh, Filianor, oh yeah, and now it's like we always knew, right? That's like, Messmer's like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I talked a lot of shit. These are just ideas I had. I'm really excited for this DLC. Some of these are more likely than others. Some of them are you'll probably find evidence that's completely contrary and makes no sense. I wanted to actually go in and fucking lower dive and do all this shit, but I discovered very early that is not for me. And I just like rambling into a microphone, editing it, and posting it. I'm not one for scripts. If you enjoyed, follow for content that's nothing like this. I'll probably post some more Elden Ring shit, actually. I'm doing an Elden Ring ranking, an Elden Ring weapon ranking with a twist. Yeah, and all shade thrown to anyone. I mean, I fucking love every notable Souls lore creator I can think of right now. So, I'm in this community, I watch these videos, and I was like, I have some ideas. Maybe I could try. So yeah, don't take it too seriously unless it turns out to be true, in which case, haha, I was right, you little whiny whiner. You fucking dingbat. You fucking absolute goose. You fucking absolute goose.